Hey everybody, Steve, it's September 18th, or is it? Yeah, it's September 18th. I'm going to Winco. Like, I have practically enough food at home. I just want a few more options. Spice up the collection a little bit, you know? Successful trip. Spent twice as much money as I wanted to, but that's just a sign you're going in the right direction. Thought about getting some gluten-free bread, but the only bread there I could see that was gluten-free was almost $7. And I don't know, maybe that's just what gluten bread goes for. But I was like, I'm not spending $7 on a loaf of bread, ever. You're gonna tip, aren't you? Oh, I can smell that onion. I bought one onion just because there's so many random meals you can put onion into. Did it. This is for my girlfriend, not me. Not a beer guy. I'm becoming such a just fraud of a health nut. I'm on my 4th day, and like, you know, it takes forever to cook black beans, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll, you know, look at what's in the can, and everything in there is pretty fine, except at the bottom, like, there's this one, you know, random scientific, you know, sodium carbonate, and it's like, oh, this is a firming agent, and I'm like, yeah, well, I don't need your firming agent firming up in my body. Acting like I've been concerned about this my whole life with my consistent diet of pizza and soup and candy and bread. So yeah, I intended on getting more fruit. I keep trying to get more fruit because it's mostly just been apples and bananas to this point. I do have that big old pineapple still waiting for me, but trying to spread it out, get some more berries in there. But the fruit and vegetable section, it's kind of chaotic there at the Winco. There was a lot of people trying to get stuff, and then there was like 3 or 4 employees like restocking stuff, and it was just kind of like COVID. And it's not like I can never have fun food again, unless of course I find out I have some really bad gluten allergy or some really bad allergy to this that's primary cause for a lot of issues I'm having. In that case, yeah, there's certain things I just won't be able to have again unless I want to endure the pain for the sake of having a fun meal. But if that's not the case, like, my objective is to just stick to this very, you know, health-centric, non-gluten, anti-inflammatory diet. I want to stick this out for like a month, but that's pretty much just all I'm doing, and I'm not letting really any unwanted food elements creeping in there. But it's not like I'm never gonna have, again, assuming there's not some weird allergy I have out there that's just lingering about, it's not like I'm never gonna have pizza again. It's like I'm never gonna have ice cream or, you know, drink a little too much one night. But, you know, when your diet on an almost daily basis is like 80% things that have too much sugar, things that have too much salt, things that have lots of gluten or lots of preservatives, that's going to have an effect after a while. And if I can flip that and get to a point where I'm regularly like 80% healthy stuff and 20%, you know, periodically the other stuff, that's probably going to bode well for me. So this is my one day off before I work 4 9-hour shifts over 5 days. So I'm going to try to do a nice little mix of, you know, doing something with my day, but also kind of keeping it chill. So I can, oh my God, did you hear that? It's not what you want to hear during COVID times. The lingering COVID times, because people just can't. I'm not going to start talking about COVID because that'll turn into like a 10-minute rant. But yeah, it's like every window that's open in these apartments, I just hear people coughing and sneezing. I'm like, yeah, you probably got the pandemic all over the place. And this is just really interesting. I saw this walking by as a pile of audio tapes. Man, those are still here tonight. I'm coming and getting them. I'm gonna get a tape deck and I'm gonna do one of those YouTube. It's not found footage, but it's like found audio tapes. It's probably audio recordings of a serial killer murdering someone there. If I honestly found that, I'd freak. Hope it's not. Hope we're in between. We're kind of having a rain a bit, not rain a bit. I can't tell if that's wind or rain. I guess I'll find out. No, I don't think it's raining. All right, well, I mean, as you can see, it's getting dark. It's like 7:45. I've had half of a pineapple. I had a little bit of I had like a protein drink kind of thing. No dairy, so trying to be as healthy about that as I can. But it's having something with like a little bit of like girth in it. Because I have to have at least one thing with some like girth. It can't just all be vegetables, rice, and fruit. That's not fantastically healthy anyway. Somebody left a pan over there. I also just walked by a woman who lives here. She's probably staring at me like I'm a weirdo, but whatever. There's hundreds of people living here. I'll probably never see that person again, even though they live right across from me. Sorry, I'm trying to vlog and unlock the compactor, which I love that we have easy access to a compactor here, whereas at work, like, you legally have to be 18 to operate it. And technically this compactor's less safe than ours, I think. Anyway, I had, what else did I have? I don't know, I've had some stuff today. And I'm gonna have some kind of meal later. I've got my big jug of tea. That's kind of a standard for pretty much each day, especially if I have a day off. I try to fill it all the way up. Minimal sugar. I gotta add a little bit in there for flavor, but it's pretty much about as much sugar, if not less, than there is in like a 20-ounce energy drink, and this is like 100 ounces, so it's substantially smaller amount of liquid. And I'm gonna play some, I tasted a little bit of that fish oil. I took my supplements too. And I'm gonna hang out and play some GTA, because I haven't played that in like 8-10 days, and I kind of miss it. So I'm gonna live stream that on my main channel. And yeah. I gotta be up in 11 hours for work, so I'm not necessarily going to sleep immediately, because I don't have to be up till 12:30 to go to work at 2, and I don't know. I sleep better when I sleep like right up to the time I have to wake up to get ready for work. And since I rarely work after 2 p.m., it's rare that I'm like sleeping till mid-afternoon or something crazy like that. But I'll probably go to bed before too long. So yeah, something I didn't mention earlier while I was taking the trash out, excuse me, was I'm already, we're just coming to the end of like my 4th day. It's gonna take a lot more than 4 days to counterbalance, specifically because when my mom made food for us for dinner, my mom loved making, she cooked a lot, so I assume she at least liked it. So I ate fairly well because she made pretty decent food. She wasn't just shoving a Stouffer's lasagna in the oven every night for us. But still, me as an adult never really had a consistently good diet. And I've been spoiled by good health in most aspects in relation to that. But, here we are. It's like 12 years of kind of level health in terms of diet, the food I'm putting into my body. So 4 days isn't going to turn everything around, but I still feel that, the exhaustion and the fatigue of dealing with just all the stuff I'm dealing with. But I feel like almost kind of like it's kind of like coming up behind it. Like this essence of like, I'm feeling this kind of energy boost. It's very meek. It's not that big, but this little bit of extra energy that I really haven't felt in a long time. And I can only assume that's in relation to the fact that I've, for the last pretty much 4.5 days now, I've had practically no gluten, practically nothing with preservatives in it, or, things that make the substances in the food you eat behave in certain ways. And I've been predominantly eating strictly food that isn't gonna really cause inflammation, anti-inflammatory food. So that's I feel this little slight essence of energy that I really haven't felt for the better part of the last year. my good days have always, the last year and a couple of months, my good days are just days where I'm not in pain, or at least not in a lot of pain, like a little bit of stiffness, and you're kind of like, I can deal with this. And then there's the days where you're just hurting, and it's just like, and in accordance, I guess, with the diet's the big thing, because I've taken in so much gluten, so many preservatives, so much sugar, so much salt over the past more than a decade. So the diet's obviously the most important thing to change, but I'm also trying to remember to consistently, stretch, and just get your body, ready for the day, because here I am, I'm trying to consistently do work on YouTube. I'm working 30 to 40 hours a week at my day job. I'm practically full-time at my day job, which is so weird. I remember the old days where I'd have to struggle to get like 15 to 20 hours. That's a story for another day. I'm taking my supplements, but that kind of coincides with the diet. But just trying to stretch and loosen up. And I started weightlifting for the first time ever. Just very minor, not a whole lot. And I actually beefed up in my arms. And that's all but gone. But I'm kind of starting to do that again. So you see, there's not really much there, but there's a little bit more there than there was like a week ago. And I've always been these muscles, like my breast muscles, if you can call them that, have never ever been strong, because I've done so little weightlifting or heavy lifting with my arms, that these don't really get worked a lot. So if I've ever had like random muscle pain or discomfort, it's been like these muscles. And I remember when I was weightlifting a bit, I started, because you're working these, that was the first time I actually started feeling a little bit of build in here. So in addition to changing the diet, it's also kind of, strengthening yourself better. I'm trying to do all these things to counterbalance that, which is making you feel kind of weak, and just staying the course and keeping going. So I'll tell you what, I wanted to cheat real bad last night. I made rice and some lentils, and by the time I was done, I was like, can I get a burger, please? So I know it's going to be hard, but I also know that once I get to about 7 to 10 days without having a certain something, like 90% of the desire to have it is just gone. So it's not super hard for me to give up things. I really need to just kind of put in about a week of resisting, and then the need to resist becomes a lot less. So that's what's going on. And another thing is I'm hoping to lose some weight with this, because I'm taking in about 2,000 calories a day, because when you eat healthier, healthy food tends to have a lot fewer calories. So I'm also hoping to lose some weight. I've been hovering around 210 pounds for the last, 2 or 3 years. And it's someone my size and build should probably be about 170, 180, realistically. So I'm trying to lose some weight. And this morning when I measured myself, I was 103, dear Lord, 203. Did I say 110 earlier? I meant 210 if I messed that up. But I'm already down to like 203. And your weight fluctuates throughout the day. But yeah, that's another thing, is especially with work, burning calories at work, but still getting enough calories over the course of a given 24-hour period to not be like, putting your body in danger by undereating or anything like that. It's a nice way to kind of slowly start trimming a little bit of this excess off of me. So that's in my plans too. And I work 9 hours for the next 5 days, so that should definitely help. All that said, day 4 is done. I'm holding strong. Today was actually easier than yesterday, and I'm just gonna keep at it. See you guys tomorrow.